Hello, welcome back to Eddie's Bad Time Story. This is day 16 of the next. I'm wearing red tonight because tonight's chapter ends in blood. This is a pivotal point in the book where you need to pay attention because everything seems to tie into what I'm about to read to you. So when you get to the end of the book, instead of going, what the hell just happened, you might just, in fact, go, what the heck just happened? So let's start in as Kate talks to Sissy about Kate's mother. Your mama took to drinking. And at night, Sissy went on, frowning with remembered pain, after you and Molly was asleep, she'd take out the car and drive along the back roads, sometimes when she was drunk. Child, I begged her not to. I begged and begged, but she wouldn't listen to me. I suddenly knew where the story was going. I don't want to hear anymore, I said, getting up. It has nothing to do with me and Charles. Baby, you gotta know to save yourself. You got some of your mama in you and you gotta fight it. You got to believe in God and not do this awful thing. I sat down. One night, real late, I heard your mama's car pull up. Sissy went on, and as she did, she hung her head down as if ashamed. She come to my room, all drunk and crying. There was an accident. She hit somebody on one of the back roads. I asked her if they was all right, but she didn't know. She drove back home without stopping. I got up and dressed myself. I told her we had to go back there to see if it was all right. But when we got up to the car, God help us. Her hands were over her mouth, trying to prevent this ancient truth from coming out. God help us, Katie. There was what? Blood and things all over the front of the car. He must have got caught up in the grill on the car. She must have dragged him. I was so cold, so terribly cold. But we drove back out anyways, till we found him. A little boy. Katie, it was a little boy. The Harley boy. I didn't feel the cold anymore. I was numb. Your mama, she got hysterical when she'd seen him. She started in crying and they was going to lock her up and they was going to put her with terrible women in prison or maybe tie her up in the electric chair. And she started in begging me and praying to me and to help her, that I was the only one she could turn to, that she didn't mean to do it and I had to help her so they wouldn't tie her up in the electric chair. Sissy stopped for a moment, exhausted, and I felt myself floating on a lake of glandular secretions, almost calm, wanting desperately to sleep. Go on, I called to her from the middle of the lake. We buried him in the woods, your mama and me, and then we came back home and she went to sleep. I washed the car all night long. I scrubbed and scrubbed till there was nothing left on the front for nobody to see. Then I went into my room and read the good book till I fell asleep. The next thing I knew, you and Molly was shaking me, wanting some breakfast. So I got up and fed you and prayed to God that nobody would ever know. Silence again. And they never did, I said, coming closer to shore. Not till this minute. But your mama knew. She knew all right. She stopped sleeping that night. And when she'd try, she'd wake up dreaming that she was driving down the road and hitting him all over again. Then she'd get up and drive out there to the woods where we buried him. Every night she'd drive out there to check nobody found him, to ask forgiveness beside his grave. 2, 3 times a night she went there till she nearly went crazy from worry and lack of sleep. She didn't mean to do it, Katie. Your mama wasn't a bad woman, just troubled, terrible troubled. Mother and the Harley boy. Me and Charles. That'll do it for tonight. Join us next time for more of the next.